Love Me is a documentary following North American men and Ukrainian women as they use the mail-order bride system to find love. Can they find what they're looking for, or is the business of international romance just a scam? Director Johnathon Narducci joins us along with John and Tanya Adams. They started the matchmaking company Foreign Affair after meeting and marrying. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So John and Tanya, tell us a little bit about your story. John, how did this all start?
Well, actually, Tanya and I met at one of our socials. So we had started the company before Tanya and I met, actually. The three of us started it. We were all single at the time. We thought it would be a great way for us to actually have an opportunity to meet women and help others meet women at the same time. So Tanya and I met at one of our socials in St. Petersburg, Russia. There were about 200 women and about 20 guys, and we were all just socializing, mingling. And I walked up to her, and I thought she was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen. And well, the rest is history. We went from there.
So, but you went specifically to, well, you're saying Russia, but you're from Ukraine, is that correct?
Actually, I'm from St. Petersburg, Russia.
You are? Okay.
And yeah, and then the company basically, when the company was founded, they started in St. Petersburg, Russia. We went to Ukraine a couple of years later.
But the idea is that you are going over, this isn't necessarily just like a dating website. There is an expectation of marriage, is that right?
Well, it's an international introduction website, and the expectation is to meet to meet women for serious relationships and marriage, yes.
But outside of the United States?
Outside the United States, yes.
So, Johnathon, how did you first come to be aware of this service, and what made you want to follow it through?
Well, about 14 years ago, I got an email from a Foreign Affair, and I clicked on it, and I kind of got taken into this world that they have online. And about 10 years later, the idea came back to me, and so I approached them and made the film.
It's so interesting to me to think of the idea that you're going into another country and you're communicating with someone who doesn't actually speak the same language. How do you do that?
You know, I think it's difficult. They use translators, and that's where a lot of the problems come up, is the lack of communication between the two people.
Yeah, I think we have a clip. Can we take a look at the clip from the film?
I typed into Google something about Russian brides. A Foreign Affair came up.
I didn't even know what Ukraine was.
I just want to be happy, and it doesn't matter where I'm going to find it.
The women there are just gorgeous. This is the one from the website where she looks like Angelina Jolie. How can you go wrong there?
And I thought, you know, you just got to go over there and meet these women.
So how are these women selected? How do you come to be a part of a Foreign Affair?
Actually, my friends told me that there is service, introduction service, and you know, they have parties and socials, and you can meet some people there. Also, a Foreign Affair does commercials, advertisement, and but pretty much now, after 17 years, it's mouth to mouth. It's from people to people, basically. You know, one person is getting married and tells friends. And
why did you want to get out of your country? Is that why you wanted to meet someone American?
It's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted another opportunity to meet people. To, you know, if I will find somebody special, that would be great. If not, it's just the way to meet people, to, you know, just, it's another chance to find somebody.
But it's not cheap as well, right? You have to pay per communication because it needs to be translated. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, there's lots of different ways you can do it. You can pay per communication. You can actually order virtual emails. We've had clients, had one client in Phoenix who paid $7, got the email of the woman, went over, met her, and married her for $7. Others who will write tons of letters and then go over. Some will never go over. But you know, basically, it's just that the world's a much smaller place, and there's no reason to limit your search. The most important search you'll ever do in your life is who you're going to marry. Why limit that geographically? I mean,
and it's free for women. Women don't pay. You know, they just want to meet somebody special, and unfortunately, it's very difficult to find somebody in Ukraine or Russia because much more women. And, you know, it's just statistically a lot of alcoholism happening. And
when you watch the film, though, it's you watch these men, and some of the moments are kind of heartbreaking for these people. Mm-hmm. How do you, Johnathon, as a documentarian, just remove yourself and not get involved?
It's really difficult. I mean, that was probably one of the biggest challenges. And I didn't really remove myself completely. You know, I was honest with my feelings towards, you know, what I thought was going on and what was happening, and, you know, it's just whether or not the guys wanted to listen to me.
Right. You could kind of foresee what was about to happen. I don't want to give away too much.
It's very obvious what was going on.
Yeah.
All the red flags would be there in certain situations, and you know, to John's credit, they just weren't listening to what his advice is. And you know, people want to live in their fantasies, and they can.
Right. Well, it's just a fascinating look at this world, and the international premiere of Love Me is tonight at the Scotiabank Theatre, and that's at 9:30 as part of Hot Docs, hotdocs.ca. For other information on showtimes, John and Tanya, Johnathon Narducci, thank you all for being in today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.